Hello everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you guys had a great week. So for those watching the replay, just wanted to record this a little bit for y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and wait since this is live for everyone else to come on. And I'm going to put in the document, the link for the document that you can take notes on. Make sure though that you click download or make a copy so then we don't see who you're doing that with. Hi Shelby, you're on. Say hi. Shelby, I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to hop on and until exactly 1 o'clock so we can get started. And Shelby, link right there for you is for the document to take notes if you want to. Hi Brooke, say hello. So glad you're here. I'm going to take a couple more seconds until that clock turns to 1 o'clock before we start. Just wanted to hop on here early so people could get on. Brooke, that link that I just put in the comments is for the worksheet if you want to use that to take notes as you go through it. All right, but say hi. Hello, Shelby, thanks. Let me know how you're doing. Also, I love this new emoji. Have you guys seen it? The new emoji with the heart and like that? I thought that was cute. I saw it for a little bit and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I do that? And then Facebook said, yeah, we did it for everyone. So I was excited because I thought it was like a special feature where only special people got it. Oh, hey, Ashley, say hi. All right, it is 1 o'clock, so we are going to get started. Ashley, I was just talking about that emoji. Hi, Emma, if you're on, say hi. So the first thing before we start, I want to get an idea of when your wedding date is. And also let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if you can see me, if there's any connection problems, if the audio is going in and out. So just give me a thumbs up if you're good, or a heart or little care emoji. So let me know. Okay. So, hey Marshall. First off, if y'all can type in your wedding date, just so I have a better idea of when your dates are. Shelby, I know that you don't have a date yet. Brooke, let me know your date. Ashley, I know that yours is in December. Emma, let me know your date. Marshall, let me know your date. Okay, good. I see thumbs up. Thank you guys. I know that there's a lag. So, and for those that just joined, feel free to, there's a link in the comments that is for the worksheet if you want to do that. I'm going to minimize my screen real quick and pull up my notes because y'all, there are notes. I'm going to go over a lot today. So you guys get ready. Let me know if I'm going too fast. But the wonderful thing about Facebook Live, afterward, it just goes to replay and then start and stop and whatever. Hi, Stephanie. Okay. So if y'all have worksheets or if you have your pen and paper, get them out. We are going to go 100 miles an hour. So here we go. Marshall, you guys still waiting for it to be safe. Okay. Hi, Tiffany. Tiffany, let me know your wedding date. Actually, I'm just going to use the new care emoji because I love it so much. It's so cute. And it totally represents who I am. Just saying. Okay. So Tiffany, let me know your wedding date so I get a good idea of where everyone's at. Okay. So welcome. This is what should you do if your guests are scared to come to your wedding. I know that Texas is opening up. Georgia, I believe, is starting to open up. So that doesn't necessarily mean, okay, just because we can go out doesn't necessarily mean we feel safe to or comfortable to. And so I created this content with that in mind of making sure that you serve your guests well and that you're able to navigate that and that you know your options, you know some choices that you can make, okay? All right, Tiffany, July 18th. Okay, so this would definitely relate to you, Tiffany. I'm sure that you have some guests here that are a little depending on how things are. And please, you to comment if you ever have questions or anything. I will take a minute after each section to look at the comments and answer your questions. So feel free just to fire away even when we're talking. Okay, So, number one, don't take it personally. And I'm going to rephrase that. Try not to take it personally. I know for me that it's hard to take it personally sometimes, especially if you're very touchy feely and you just care a lot about that. But try not to take it personally, because even with regular weddings, even with weddings not in the COVID-19 era, there are those guests that don't come or that RSVP yes and then they do a no-show. So it happens, okay? It is normal, it's natural. You will have those people that just don't come. And it can be for multiple reasons. It could be that maybe they don't know you well. Maybe you're doing a wedding that's really far away from them, and it would be too expensive on their part to either get a plane ticket or to drive all that. If you have older family that can't travel well, I know that my grandparents were really on that threshold. They're in their 70s, 80s, and it's just really hard for them to travel. And so it was such a blessing that they were able to drive up Dallas from Houston. But that is something. We had a lot of family on my husband's side that wasn't able to come because they were too old and they couldn't travel. So that's one thing. Another thing is if they don't know anyone that's going to come, especially if they don't get a +1, or if it's an adult-only wedding or their kids aren't invited and they take their children, that makes it a little bit harder on parents, as you guys know, where, then they have to get a babysitter and maybe they're not comfortable with getting a babysitter for whatever reason. And then there's also just sometimes things happen. Sometimes things come up unexpectedly. Hi, Madison. When you come on, hi, Stephanie. When you come on, say hi so I know that you're here and give me some love. But there's always those things that come up. There's always just emergencies, whether it's, last minute things, or they get sick, or their child has a fever. I mean, any sorts of that. And it's hard to not take it personally if they don't tell you, but most of the time they don't tell you because it's on your wedding day or like the day before, and they don't want to burden you because they know you're getting ready and you're excited and you don't want to give that right before, which is understandable. So there are all of those reasons already. But now with COVID-19, there is another reason. And that is safety. We've never had that before. It's always been safe to go to a wedding. And so this is definitely something new, is people want to stay safe. And so this is part C of number 1, if you're following along on the worksheet. So it's safety. And I want to tell you that if your guests don't come to your wedding because of COVID-19, it is not because they don't love you. It is not because they don't care, because people are scared. Y'all, people are scared. They're anxious. It's completely unknown. This virus is something that we've never dealt with before. And of course, there's a whole spectrum. So there's people on this super extreme side where they're really, really scared and anxious, and all that they're doing is watching the news and hearing about these terrible cases and young infants dying and all of that in Italy and New York. And then there's the people on the other side of the spectrum where it's like, we're just, blowing it all up. It's a conspiracy theory or whatever. I mean, okay, that's not scientific at all. I'm just exaggerating, right? And so there's going to be those guests on either side. And so you want to make sure that you cater to them and that you make them feel cared for and respected, no matter how they feel or how they see the situation, right? All right. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Alex. Okay, so I want you also to think about your older family who are vulnerable, those who have autoimmune disease, those who have very low or compromised immune systems. So it's a lot of people, and it's people that sometimes don't even think about. I know that for for me, when on the news at first they said, oh yeah, it's only affecting the elderly. Well, I didn't even think about, okay, well, what about those that are younger that do have a compromised immune system or that already have conditions? And so just be open, be understanding, be aware of where your guests could be. And I implore you guys to not say, if they really love me or those that really care will come, because it's just not true. And I can't really imagine anything more selfish for me to say, because I couldn't imagine putting that onto my guests and then let my grandparents who are in their 80s, my granny's 94. I mean, and I would not want her to come to my wedding and be in that risk. And I know you guys might have different opinions, but I'm just saying where I'm coming from. Please don't say or take it as I'm being judgmental. If you have another point of view, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying where I'm coming from, okay? I'd love to know y'all's opinions if you want to type it in real quick in the comments. But please don't make your happily ever after someone's worst ever after. Please don't. And just, yeah. So that's really important to me. I really wanted to get that or just share that with you guys, because I am seeing a lot of quite a few people saying, oh, those who really care will come. And honey, that's just not the case. Like, please don't put that onto your guests. Just please don't. Remember the spectrum. There's those that are really, really, really scared about this, and they have every right to be. And then also too, like, your wedding is all about making your guests feel special and cared for, and you want to honor and respect them, and you're inviting them because they're so special to you, they're so important to you, and they've supported you throughout your relationship and throughout your life, and you want to celebrate with them and make them or allow them to cherish your event as much as you do. So just keep that in mind. Look at your wedding as a way to serve your guests and to serve your family and to thank them for all that they're doing. So I'm going to pause for questions real quick. Let me see. Tiffany, 100% in agreement. Awesome. Yeah, and just saying this again, guys, if you have a different opinion, I know that there are so many opinions out there. Please, please, please don't take judgment on my part. All right. So number 2, on the worksheet, make sure that your guests feel safe. So if you are going to continue going on with your wedding as planned and all of that, depending on how many you're inviting and if the venues are able to open phase 2 of May in the middle of May and there's more than 25% or whatever, if you are continuing, then the best thing you can do is to make them feel safe. And there are a lot of ways you can do this. So get ready. Make sure that you abide by all of the CDC regulations and guidelines. So that is making sure your guests stay 6 feet apart, especially at the tables, the buffet lines, the dance floor, all of that. You want there to be enough space to be 6 feet apart. Kayla, good to see you, girl. Then have hand sanitizer stations everywhere. Have them at the guest table. Have them at each table. Have them at the buffet stations. Have them at the drink stations. Have them by the DJ on the dance floor. Just have them everywhere, because that will help the guests who are a little bit more concerned or just want to make sure and take precautions. That will help them, and they can hand sanitize it up. Oh, and also the bathrooms too. Make sure that you have hand sanitizer there. The other thing too is we want to eliminate how much, I guess, like public or communal things we have. So one of those things is with the servers at your buffet. If you're having a plated meal, that's awesome, because the only 2 sets of hands touching that meal is the servers, which have gloves as they're required to, and then your guest that's eating their plate. When you have buffet line, you need to have servers. Please don't let people, each guest, serve themselves. Please don't. That's just not sanitary right now. So you want to have servers, whether you hire servers, if you use a friend or a family member, or like family friend. Don't recommend a family member, just so then they can enjoy the wedding with you. But just be conscious about what items you have and how many hands are going to touch it, and try to eliminate that. So with the buffet, also with drink stations, please have your bartenders or someone have pre-made drinks that have gloves, or serve it or make the drinks for the guests, instead of having the guests go to the dispensers and get their cup and then all of those hands are touching it. So just have some servers, some designated servers where you can control who's touching it, the germs, all of that. The other thing too is you might need to consider cutting out the dance floor, especially if you don't have enough space for everyone to be 6 feet apart, okay? So you can either increase the dance floor, make it bigger, that's an option. You can take it away. Or if you want to move the dancing outside where there's more room, germs don't fester as much outside, you're in the open air. That's another thing too. So just being conscious of your dance floor. Also, make sure to ask all of your vendors, your DJ, photographer, wedding planner, coordinator, bartenders, all of that, florist, ask them or let them know of what you would like them to do and what precautions you'd like them to take. So whether, wearing masks, wearing gloves, hopefully not like one of those big, alien suits that wouldn't make for very good pictures. But if you feel like that and you need to do that to feel good or to serve your guests, then go for it. So ask your vendors, give them a heads up, like, hey, we're wanting to do this. Do you mind doing this? Make sure they're in the loop. They would be more than happy to oblige, okay? Ask everyone to wear masks. Ask all of your guests to wear masks, all of your vendors, the venue coordinator, everyone, okay? Just to help make people feel comfortable. Okay. And I've mentioned this before, but keep all community items to a minimum. So you're gonna have to think really detailed here. So like with your guest book, most people use a pin to sign guest book. So you might have to take away that traditional guest book and get more creative. Maybe it's that you have everyone take a picture of themselves on their phone. There we go. And then just upload it to your Instagram and use your hashtag, or upload it to like a Google Photos album or something. Then it's not all the hands touching and you don't have to have like a gazillion pins for each person. You don't have to have some like wipe down Lysol the pin every time. So just try and think of better ways to do that. Same for the photo booth. Don't have props that's going to be, hands touching over. Maybe just have like a photographer at the photo booth station taking everyone's pictures. There's no contact, all of that. So we want to decrease the contact. Another thing too, if you're having activities like date ideas or a date jar or marriage advice, think too about how you can decrease that contact. So whether instead of having, a jar on a table and the pins set by it, maybe you just have a slip of paper and a pin at each seat for the guests to have, and then no one else is touching their stuff. Also, another option too is to increase space, to increase or decrease contact, and allowing everyone to stay 6 feet away, is to have your wedding outside, just completely outside. Of course, it depends on the weather. Maybe you can do a pavilion or rent a tent or something like that. Ask your venue if they have accommodations like that. But you might just want to move outside, so then no one's inside and you just don't have to worry about that because, of course, this is definitely more of a pressing issue when you take it inside instead of being out in the open air. Okay, no, that was a lot. I'm going to go ahead and pause for you guys to just catch up on your notes and then to ask any questions. Let me know just which ideas you didn't think of or if this is helpful for you. Let me know so I know for next time and during this. Okay, Marshall, I as well, I want everyone to feel safe. Yeah, and that's just the most important thing because I know that all of you guys love your guests so much. You really care for them. You just want them to feel safe. You want them to have a great time at your wedding. Okay, hi Stephanie. Hi Georgia. So good to see you. Y'all say hi. When you join, say hi. Kayla, say hi. Jenny, Alex, Madison. Okay, going on to number 3. Expect a smaller guest list. Just do. Just expect it. There are going to be those guests that just aren't going to be able to come for whatever reason. And I want to know, how many guests are you guys inviting? How many people are on your guest list right now? Or how many people have RSVP'd so far? Let me know in the comments. And I'll wait because I know that there's a delay. Hey, Victoria. All right, hopefully y'all are furiously typing and Facebook is just taking a while to get those comments in. All right, Alex, we have about 109 invited. So also too, with your guests, with however many you invite, you can expect about 75 to 80% actually come. And that is during normal wedding, like not COVID era. All right, Tiffany, 52 out of 100. So Tiffany, is that 52 is RSVP'd yes, and you're inviting 100? Stephanie, hi. I'm inviting 50. Haven't had anybody RSVP since it isn't till September. Stephanie, you won't need to send out those invitations until about July-ish. Victoria, no one has replied yet. 60 invites. Victoria, remind me when your wedding date is. Okay, and Victoria, you have a pretty smaller or a little bit smaller wedding, so that's really going to be great for you because that will most likely be in the either 25% or 50%, depending on where venues are at with reopening by the time that your wedding is happening. So yeah, expect 75 to 80% normally. With COVID-19, we just don't know yet because we haven't yet been able to have weddings during this. So we really don't have much data for you guys. But expect definitely less than 75 to 80%. Okay, for you, September 12th. Okay, so you have some time. Hopefully those venues will be back up and running, if not fully by then. Okay, so that was number 3, expect a smaller guest list. And number 4, give guests options, especially those who are concerned and they don't want to come because of safety. So you can give them the option of they can attend in person, just like normal. They can come, watch you, celebrate, all that. 2, you can broadcast Facebook Live. So I know a lot of people are doing it just on their personal Facebook pages. This is awesome. But if you don't want to broadcast it to everyone that you are friends with, then you can create just a Facebook event specifically for your wedding and then put it on there in the group. So then it's only your guests that are seeing it. So that's another option for you to be able to control who actually sees it and all that. Number 3, you could do a Zoom call if you have that capability. Just have everyone Zoom in so they can see you, they can interact with you, they can still be there and experience it with you, but not have to compromise just where they're at right now and their mindset and their safety and all of that. Another option is they could watch from afar. So if you are having your ceremony outside, then they could just like be way out and they'll be able to see and probably hear because of the sound system, but then they're not anywhere close by to anyone else. So they could be like on the outskirts or on the border or something. And if you have an indoor wedding, then maybe they could watch through the window, or they could just stand right there in the back or by the door. So you can definitely give them options. And if you want to allow them to not have to, touch the door and to go inside, you can just prop the door open, which a lot of people do anyway. So you can prop that door open, let them come, just hang out in the back, and then leave for their reception if they don't feel comfortable with that. So that's another option too, another way for them to be there but not have to compromise that. Another thing that you can do, or one thing that I just really encourage you guys to do, is to make them feel just really cared for during this time. And it's hard for everyone. It's something that we've never been through, that we've never had to deal with, and especially for those who are really scared or are really anxious or just don't deal with unknowns. Me, hate unknowns. I love knowing every single thing about my life. But if they RSVP no, give them a call, send them a Facebook message, or send them a text and say, hey, I saw that you RSVP no. I have to know, is it because you're really scared about COVID? These are all the precautions that we're doing. Here are some different options. Just let them know that you really want them to be there and just work with them. And I almost guarantee that you will, by just reaching out to them personally, talking through it with them, that you will get some of those no's to be yeses, so then they can be there and experience that with you. Okay. So y'all keep those questions coming, any comments. If you didn't catch any of it, I know there's a lot of blanks there for you on the worksheet. And if you came in later and you want the worksheet, just scroll up to the top of the comments, and that link that I posted is the worksheet for you. Okay, so number 5, I want you to think about what you really want. And is it that, are you just wanting to be married? Is that what you want most? You just want to be married, and you want to be able to start a life, a married life with your husband, and you really, like, you're super flexible on being able to move that wedding reception, to move that celebration and that party to later on. If that is you, then I would definitely encourage you to have a super small ceremony, have a virtual wedding, have a Zoom wedding, get married in a grocery store, in a park, which now that we're out of lockdown, you could do it anywhere. But so think about that, is have your small ceremony just so you can get married, and then depending on, or just pushing it back to later. For me, it's like, I just wanted to be married, and I could, party all year long until the actual wedding. Heck, if I could it my way, I'd have a wedding every year. I love weddings. Anyways, so that's a tangent on its own. So that's, are you that bride who just wants to be married and you can push it back later? And this is if it's real, like, if the most important thing about your wedding is your guests. If you really want them to be there and celebrate with you, and you want to tell them how grateful you are, and it's almost like you are throwing this wedding for your guests. If that is you, and your wedding just wouldn't be the same about all of those people, then I would say postpone until you are able to have that. Get married, be happily married, and then have the wedding when everyone feels safe and things are back to normal. Or are you the kind of bride who you don't like lots of people? You get so uncomfortable in front of crowds. You hate being the center of attention. Your first dance just makes you really anxious, and walking down the aisle makes you really anxious, and you love that small feel. You would be so happy to have a smaller number in attendance. Go for it. Keep your date as long as keep your date once your venue's open. Have fun. Enjoy the smaller party. Like this, COVID-19 is on your side, girl. Like this is great in that you have this option that naturally less people will come. So this is for you if you love smaller weddings, and you only really want your closest family and friends to be there. If like 30, 20, 50 people is your max, that's your sweet spot, you got it. So I want to know if you guys can type in, which are you? Are you, type in a 1 if you just really want to be married and your guests are so important and you just wouldn't want to have your wedding without everyone there, and you want a large celebration and you just want to have a small ceremony now and then postpone it later. Type in a 1 if you're that bride, and then type in a 2 if you would much rather a smaller ceremony, an intimate celebration with just your closest family and friends. You hate being the center of attention or just makes you uncomfortable. So let me know. Type in a 1 or a 2. Okay, Victoria, I have a mix of all of them. Yeah, they're okay. So a 3, you're a hybrid, definitely. Awesome. And Victoria, you have 60 invites. So yeah, that's perfect. That's awesome. That's really, really good. And since your wedding is in September too, that will hopefully help. Alex, a 1. Yes, for sure. We talked about it yesterday. You're definitely 1, girl. Others, let me know. And okay, so that is the end of today. Just the content that I had for you guys. Let me know if you missed a number, or want me to go back and help you fill in any slots, blanks that you missed. I know that there was a lot of info. Okay, Tiffany, a blend of all. Tiffany, 1, because I want the whole party, but 2, also because I'm horrible with attention. Totally get you. And Steph, there's a lot of different options that you can have there too. I've worked with a lot of brides who want a lot of people there, but they don't like being the center of attention. So Stephanie, reach out to me if you need some ideas. I'd be glad to help you. Tiffany, yeah, blend of all. Okay. So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I will stay on a little bit longer, just if those last questions. Hey, Lakeitra, those last final questions and all of that. But let me know if this was helpful. Give me a heart or a thumbs up or a care emoji if this was really helpful to you. And just let me know. Give me some feedback so then I can better serve you guys in the future. But yeah, I'm going to stay on here a little bit. Y'all feel free to hop off if you don't need anything else. But have a wonderful weekend, and I love you guys, and I will talk to y'all soon. Keep those questions coming. Hey, Lakeitra, you came on at the very tail end, but that's okay because when I'm done, it'll give you the replay. Then you can just the whole thing. And if you want a worksheet to go along with it to take notes, scroll up all the way to the comments. And that will be, you can find the link to the worksheet there. So you can put everything in. Alrighty. Seeing any other questions come in, and if there are, I'll definitely see them after, and I will respond to those for you. But awesome, great, you're welcome. Yeah, all right, ladies, I will talk to y'all later. Let me know if you need anything, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.